Appreciate that, by the way. Bar King says, "Hey man, do you ship internationally?" Yes. Um, we ship worldwide. Also, I know they call you young, but nothing young about you. Old and wise, like Yoda, more like it. I'll take either way. It doesn't matter when I'm fucking 40. I'll still be like I'm not changing to like what middle aged Ripper. That's not gonna happen. Whoa, buddy, with a 799 Australian. So how many units of the ISOM figure do you need to sell to break even? Well, we usually tie that type of stuff to our milestones, right? Like for us to feel good about something, um, we usually tie that to like use like the first milestone. So yeah, it's rare that you get something that we put out anyway that would be like something that we just didn't break even on because we're not in the business of being like a loss leader, right? Like that's we can't afford. You sure you're gonna have your advertisements and stuff like that? That's not what I mean by a loss leader. A loss leader is something that you put out with the expectation that you're not going to get that back, but the benefit that you get from putting it out there in the ether is going to get you more sales for everything, right? We're not in the business of that. We're not a big mega corporation, so we can't afford to do that. But we don't put anything out that we're like, oh, it's going to be a loss leader. Sure, there's a bottom line with anything that you could do. We have sales goals and stuff like that we will put out there. But now with our volume, I mean, everything that we put out is going to we're going to get a return on. The action figures already we're going to get a return on that, and again, we try to have milestones that, like, for example, with a milestone of like 5,000, for example, where we said if we sell 5,000 figures at any point in time, we would green light the next one. That's telling you as the audience, if you're using your context clues, that okay, that was more than successful, and so successful that instead of waiting a longer period of time to do the next figure, they're just going to go ahead and green light it. And by that, we mean we're getting it going now. Production started now. So that means that we would have had a massive return on that. So that gives you kind of some clues. But yeah, there's not anything that we put out now that we're like, oh shit, we're not going to get a return from that. There's not anything that we put out like that. So, you know, it's hard to say an exact number, but this thing could do a few hundred, and at that point, it's about how much more successful can we make that. It just depends because it's not like it's not like we committed to doing like fucking 20,000 figures or something like that. Like no, no, no.